India, the USA, Great Britain, the Netherlands, Venezuela. People from these and many other countries of the world live with us side by side. They're working, starting families, bringing up children, and simply enjoying life in Kazakhstan. In our program, Connecting Cultures, they share their stories that had occurred in their lives before they came to Kazakhstan and after they arrived here. From them, we will learn how the experience of staying in our country has changed their destinies. Today's guest first came to Kazakhstan on a short summer stay, but later falls in love with the country. She returns to Almaty to manage and direct the Kazakhstan English Language Theater. Bringing fresh ideas and a new take, Jessica Lewis inspires those in the art of theater and acting in Kazakhstan. Jessica Lewis was born in the United States of America in Pennsylvania in the Pocono Mountains. Jessica grew up in a country home in the Pocono Mountains, which are rich in amazing landscapes and waterfalls. Jessica Lewis is an actress and director. She received her MFA in acting from the University of Iowa in the United States. Her reason to move to Almaty was to direct the only English-speaking theater in Kazakhstan, which is on the campus of the Kazakhstan Institute of Management, Economics and Strategic Research, or also widely known as KIMAP. Together with actors from KIMAP, other universities and working professionals in the community, Jessica as a director has staged several performances. According to many viewers, the performances are particularly festive in their expressiveness and sincerity. Could you tell us, at what age do you think you got into acting? When was that for you?
I think I was, 3 or 4. I would be in these little talent shows. My mom would do them with me, or she would do them with her friends, and I would be in them too, and I just loved being in front of people. I was a little ham, they would say. And then with my friends growing up, there was a family that we grew up with, all brothers and sisters, and me and my brother. And they would come over, and we formed this summer fun club. And so in that, I would teach acting to them. And I was kind of a little boss. And also the other thing with those friends, I would say, let's do a play. And so I was always the one directing, telling them what to do. I would come up with the play, and I would have the lead role.
Hear the bells ringing, ring-a-ling-ling. It's a message from us to you. Hear the bells ringing, ring-a-ling-ling. We just want to say, go, fight, and win.
All the time. And so everything I turned into a skit. So anytime people came over or anything in school, I would somehow we'd have to do a little scene or skit out of it. So I think it came very early. And also, I don't know, maybe it's connected to my dad. He was in the circus. So maybe I got something from my father. He was a trapeze artist in the circus, and he also was a gorilla. So he had this genuine life-size gorilla costume, and he would go through the audience and scare them.
So could you tell us, how did you choose Kazakhstan and what brought you to this part of the world?
Sadly, I was one of those typical ignorant Americans who knew nothing about Kazakhstan. And honestly, when I found out about the opportunity to come to Kazakhstan, I really didn't even have a desire to travel to other countries. And but I had just graduated grad school, and I did not know what I was going to do next with my life. And actually, by the time I graduated grad school, I majored in acting for 3 years in grad school. But by the end, I realized that actually I don't want to go to New York or LA, because so much about pursuing acting is you've got to be good at the business of acting. And so much of it is about marketing yourself and just realizing that, I don't know, the whole business side was not me. And just realizing that, I don't know, just sensing that New York or LA was not for me. But then it was like, okay, where am I gonna go? What am I gonna do with this? I just got this graduate degree. What am I gonna do with it? And so I was searching online and I came across a post that said, wanted actors to come to Kazakhstan for a summer theater tour. And it just caught my attention, and something about it made me stop, and I contacted the guy, and I don't know what, 3 or 4 months later, I was in Kazakhstan, and it was my first time ever out of the United States.
So Jessica, could you tell us a little bit about your first impressions of being in the country?
So when I got here, I was pleasantly surprised that it was as modern as it was. Yeah, I just thought it was beautiful here. I liked the mountains. I remember my first day we went on a rafting trip, and I thought it was going to be whitewater rafting, and it was actually a big piece of wood that floated in the water, and that was the raft. And it was a bunch of us and some big Russian women, and on it for like 3 hours, and then we got stuck. And that was my very first day in Kazakhstan. And so, yeah, lots of impressions, but it was adventurous and I really loved it.
We know that you came to Kazakhstan first on a summer trip. Can you tell us a little bit about what you did over that summer?
And we just created our own play. We did a version of Cinderella, a commedia dell'arte version of Cinderella, which is an Italian form of comedy. And we created our own masks, did a lot of improvisation, and we just traveled the country. That summer changed the course of my life. I fell in love with this place, but actually I didn't think I'd ever return. And then I moved to the States and started another job at a theater in Texas, and I could not stop thinking about Kazakhstan. I would look at my photo album and cry. I would dream about Kazakhstan. I kept in touch with everyone that I met, and it was shortly after that that this guy Nathan, who started Kelt, he asked if I would come back.
Kazakhstan's English language theater was organized in the year 2001 at the KIMAP University in Almaty as a student theater. It was initiated by Nathan Fleming, a former actor himself. In the initial stages of this theater, a small group of students and expats were combined. Over time, the number of English-speaking audience performances exceeded 1,000 people, and the performances became a great success. This is really impressive, as this is a student theater. Kelt values hard work. The play is rehearsed for a 2.5-month period, 5 nights a week, 3 hours every night. They like to play too. They hang out with one another frequently on the weekends. For participants of the theater, not only is it good English language practice, but at the same time an opportunity to find one's creative self. Furthermore, it's a place to find friends that become like family, and maybe even a spouse. Thus far, 2 couples have met through Kelt and married. What is unique about this English-speaking theater? First, it is English language improvement. Learning language through theater is more kinesthetic than learning in a classroom. Second, it is a community of friends and colleagues that has developed over the years through its 25-plus productions. Since 2001, there have been about 300 participants in Kelt, including actors and backstage crew and helpers. It has been a privilege to be in Kazakhstan working with such talented people. The actors give themselves fully to each process, even though they are full-time students or employees. I'm blessed to call them my friends.
Theater, for me, has been a way to express myself, express who I am. Theater deals with our humanity, our relationship to one another, our relationship to nature, asking a lot of questions about what is truth, trying to always get to the truth of things, the truth of humanity, the truth of what's out there. For example, when you get a text, a script, and you see these words written on the page, it is the actor's job to bring these words to life, because theater is not anything that's written on a page. It's live, it's life. And so an actor needs to take these words and bring life to it and ask themselves, how can I connect to this? Not just about reading these lines with emotion or with a happy face or a sad face. Real acting is about being able to make connections to the text, to the language, asking what is this character really going through? What are they struggling through? What do they want? What are they fighting for? And so really trying to, you personally, connect with this character that you've been given. Acting is, it's not about becoming another person or putting on a mask. I think that acting in theater is actually about taking off a mask. Theater asks what it means to be human.
So Jessica, I wanted to ask a little bit about your plans for the future. Maybe share some of your goals and ambitions that you have for Kazakhstan.
Some ideas for plans. One thing that I've thought about and talked with some people about is maybe starting a training center here, because here, honestly, in Kazakhstan, the quality or the level of acting training is still at a very elementary, basic level. And so something, starting a school or classes on a regular, consistent basis for people to be trained in acting and in theater is a thought that I've had, something for the future. Another thing that I'm really interested in is creating original work. Kazakhstan, we do a lot of plays that come from scripts, and then right now we're working on a project that has been created from just original work, collaboration. And so I am personally very interested in creating new stuff, collaborating with a group of individuals, doing improvisations and getting at the heart of stuff where people are at, the stuff that people want to hide and not deal with, and putting that out there and asking hard questions, dealing with issues that are going on right now in Kazakhstan in people's lives and people's hearts, and creating new work. So that's something that I want to do more in the future, is more original work. Yeah, even having a group of people where we travel around the world and saying, of maybe taking a group from Kazakhstan and we create our own work and we take it, to other countries, and so that would be exciting.
The theater is a place where not only is it okay to remove your mask, it is necessary, and it is beautiful when it happens, says the artistic director of the Kazakhstan English-speaking theater in Almaty, Jessica Lewis.